Hello, this is your famous author Mark coming to you with another interesting YouTube discussion. What I want to discuss today is what I saw on TV yesterday. I was watching the coverage of the funeral of President Jimmy Carter. But what I want to do in this video, everybody glorified him and all that, But what I want to do is give you a deeper analysis of Jimmy Carter himself. To be honest with you, yes, they glorified him and all that stuff. But let us examine what good things really did Jimmy Carter do for this country. Because to be honest with you, there aren't too many of them in my not so humble opinion. Because first of all, we had a very deep, under Jimmy Carter's policies, we had in the 1970s we did have a big economic crisis because we had the gas lines, we had the energy crisis, our economy was in a tank, and everything else, and plus we had the Iranian embassy crisis, all those other things. But really, what my question is, what good things did really Jimmy Carter do for this country? I mean, the thing is, and inflation was through the roof, and besides all that. To be honest with you, we are still dealing with in my opinion, with the economic mistake. We are still dealing with the economic mistakes of Jimmy Carter until this very day. Because yes, we had a real big economic crisis under Jimmy Carter of confidence and all that stuff. But in reality, we had our own economic crisis in 2008. And we're still going through currently we're still going through high prices, inflation, and all these other things. Now, although, to be honest with you, I didn't grow up in the 70s because because I was in the 70s, I was still growing up in Poland, because my father came to this country from Poland in 1986, and I came here in 1988. Now, although yes, and let's put it this way: under Jimmy Carter, we really had a real economic crisis, and the economy itself was in the dumper, as they say. But then Ronald Reagan fixed it, and to be honest with you, I am glad that I have grown up under Reagan, where because when my father came here in 1986 and I came here in 1988, although yes, I grew up under Reagan, I was a kid under Reagan, but at least our economy was a little bit strong because Ronald Reagan managed to fix it a little bit, but the schools, the education was much better. You could have under Reagan, you could have saved up money to buy a house. You could have raised a family under that. Although, and then back to this topic. Now, what did Jimmy Carter do? That's when in my not so humble opinion, that's when America started to go down under Jimmy Carter, when we had all these economic crises. That's where the, what do you call, we had a growth in homeless population. We had we all had all these negative things happening under Jimmy Carter. Plus, mind you, you all remember that we had that United States embassy crisis in Iran, where that problem wasn't resolved until Reagan actually came into office. That's when that was resolved. But then we had the gas lines and all these other things. But see, although yes, it was the and I have a little bit of a problem with Jimmy Carter, because let's also mention this, that in reality, Jimmy Carter and his advisors, Zbigniew Brzezinski, were the first people to actually, and I'm going to put this very bluntly, they were the first people to glorify the New World Order and global governance. They were the first people to actually try to glorify basically global governance. Like I said, I'm not going to use the word New World Order that much, because I mean the word New World Order, it's been used, so it's been overused in my opinion. So I'm just going to use the term global governance. Those two people, Zbigniew Brzezinski, which was one of his advisors, and Jimmy Carter actually glorified and put us on a path to the global governance, basically. And number two, let's. I mean, some people say that, and in my opinion, and I kind of agree with this, and I kind of disagree. But the only good thing, in one way looking at it, was that Jimmy Carter sent aid to Afghanistan to actually help the Afghans fight the Soviets. But this, in my opinion, this was a double-edged sword, because yes, we did help. We did help the Afghans to defeat the Soviets in Afghanistan, ladies and gentlemen. But then we had a consequence of that. During something happened to us on 9/11. So in reality, did Jimmy Carter as president, did he do anything good for this country? In my opinion, not so much. Now, did he do any good, like when he was building the houses for Habitat for Humanity and all that stuff? I would say definitely yes. But like I said, and the thing is, certain people, why are they glorifying Jimmy Carter so much? I mean, what, in my opinion, Jimmy Carter did more negative things for America than positive as president. Now the thing is, like I said, we are still, in my opinion, dealing with the consequences of Jimmy Carter, because let me bring you back to our time. Now, in 2008, 2007, 2008, we had the economic crisis that, in my opinion, we haven't really recovered from. I mean, and our economy is not doing that good. We are still experiencing the higher inflation that we had under Jimmy Carter, almost the same or even more. Now, like I said, because in my opinion, not so humble opinion, this economic crisis that we are experiencing today with the high gas prices and all those, that economic crisis did not start in 2007 and 2008. This economic crisis that we are experiencing now was actually brewing under it actually started to raise its head under Jimmy Carter's presidency. But see, everybody is, how Jimmy Carter was great and all these other things in some circles, of course. But the thing is, like I said, and we. To be honest with you, we are still going to deal with Jimmy Carter's mismanagement of this country, and this thing's gonna pile on. First, we had the economic crisis under the Jimmy Carter presidency. Then we had then Ronald Reagan fixed it a little bit. We had a decent standard of living under Reagan, but then because they papered over everything, in my opinion, we are still dealing with the economic mismanagement of our nation, starting from Jimmy Carter until this very date. Now I'm going to say goodbye for now, and I will see you in my next video.